you Trump or are you Harris?
I'm definitely Trump.
All
Wow,
right,
Republican
so
conservative.
talk to me about it. So talk to me about it. What do you
Yeah,
think about
so
this new move, man? What do you think about this new move?
it's a big move. I think it's a big move.
Okay. Do you think that Trump? Do you think that it's like? Well, tell me more about your thoughts about it. So, like, just the floor is yours. Go ahead.
So one of the biggest things that I do respect Biden about is that he probably understands that he's probably too far gone, or he thinks that he's probably just over it. He is getting older and he's having a hard time keeping up. Not saying
Okay.
he hasn't done anything good, but at the same time, you have to give somebody respect when they know that they've had enough.
I agree. Do you think that Trump has had enough? I mean, like Trump was saying something the other day where he was like rambling off about something. It just didn't make any sense. And this wasn't the first time that he did that. He even did that at the presidential debate. Do you think that Trump is
Right.
100% like ready to run this country?
I think Trump is ready for it. So my biggest thing is that I do believe that America is a business that has
Okay.
to be able to make money to be able to support its people. So do I think that we need a business person in place? Absolutely. Do I think that he's the best person to run? No, because he has a loose mouth. He needs to learn how to shut the fuck up.
Okay. Okay. Do you think that his loose mouth could end up having him lose the presidency?
I think so because I mean the only thing that I do agree with what the approach that he's trying to go with now is that like beforehand he was a one party president. Now he's probably trying to pander a little bit, so I do kind of see it. You got to see through the crap, but now he is trying to pander, saying that he wants to be a full party American president, not just one part or the other.
First of all, let's just take a moment and just, man, good fucking job. Good job for owning the fact that Trump is, because that's what I feel. I agree with that. Trump is pandering. Trump is pandering. There's been some things that he said that he's pandering a little bit, and it's been. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's been difficult trying to get Trumpers to just kind of own that. So I want to take a moment and just give you some praise for owning the fact that Trump is pandering a little bit.
No, he is 100%. So
Wonderful,
one of the biggest
wonderful.
things that one of the biggest things that I know that he's pandering on, and I come from a small town in Ohio. I mean, now I live in Nevada, but which is probably a
Yeah,
lot smaller but bigger country, if that makes sense.
very good. So now let's push the conversation forward. Do you feel that Kamala has her shit together mentally more than Trump?
Not necessarily with the policies that I'm hoping that she puts in play, if that
Okay,
makes
so
sense. It's not. I don't. I think that she. So it's kind of contradicting because now we're in a time frame to where we don't have heavy Democratic personnel, like the older conservative Democrats. We don't have those anymore. Now it's more
okay,
liberal, it's more open minded. So, what I'm worried about is that the American First policies that I'm not seeing anymore is really hurting the middle class people. I come
okay.
from a heavy manufacturing background in the childhood that I grew up in, and now I'm not seeing that. I'm not saying that we're second class, like a second world country, but at the end of
Yeah.
the day, we're looked at second hand manufacturing. You know what I
Okay,
mean? We
but
don't manufacture,
is
we
anybody
assemble.
is either one of them fighting for that? Like, does Trump have a plan for that? For what you're talking about?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things that I do like about one of the policies that he is trying to put into play, and he did do a little bit back in the day, is heavy tariffs. So what happens is that all these bigger corporations end up taking a lighter tax cut by manufacturing out of country and then
Okay,
importing. So hitting them with heavy tariffs actually give them a almost a supplemental. Hey, it's better to be able to manufacture in the states versus in Mexico, Taiwan, bringing all these products from Canada or even China. Anybody, because you remember everything that happened during like the honey scandal, everything that happened during a lot of American made products, definitely in the honey industry, the beef industry, were taking a major hit because we had a major influx of imports versus what we're using actually in house. It wasn't going to market because they didn't have that way to market. Like the,
okay,
the chicken industry took a major hit because we was having an influx of, I just want American made products so American middle class can survive.
gotcha.
And it can come from
Let me ask
either
you a
party.
question. Let me ask you a question because I hear some people talking about his running mate. This is what I want you to do. If you're in the chat, who would y'all have rather Trump pick for his running mate? Put that in the comments. Who do y'all think Trump should have picked for his running mate? And then that guy vote.
Elijah
Do
Hander.
you do you think do you think that his because he picked Vance or whatever? What are your
He
thoughts
did it for
on
a
his running
pander.
mate?
He
What's
did
that?
it for a pander because now with everything that he's speaking about the middle class families are the ones taking a hit. I come from an extremely poor household. I grew up on government subsidies. So now you're bringing in somebody that was a VP or that is now a VP nominee which come from that type of lifestyle, but is he really still a part of it? Does he remember actually what he come from?
But do you think that that was the right choice? Do you think that Vance was the right choice? Because I'm getting overwhelmingly Vivek and Tulsi seem to be kind of like tied in the comments here, but like no one's going for Vance. Like, so do you think that Vance was a good choice?
I like Vance's background, and I hope that he remembers where he comes from. But what I'm afraid of is that the people that he surrounded himself coming out of that struggle is that did he really forget where he come from? That's what I'm worried about.
So here's a question. I saw some like some memes or something like that, or some TikToks where there was Trumpers were going against Vance and talking about like his Indian wife and stuff like that. Have you seen any of that? Like, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, guys. But he had like an Indian wife, and like they were like talking about his wife and stuff like that. Have you seen that?
No,
Have you guys seen that in the comments? Have you guys seen that in the comments? Put that in the comments. So you have not seen that, is what you're saying?
No, not personally.
Interesting. I felt like your statement on joining this live is perfect. I felt like, okay, so we have some people who have seen it. Okay, I felt like I saw some stuff like that where Republicans were coming after. You have not seen that. Okay, very good. Okay, I know she's Indian. Okay, very good. Keep those coming, because I felt like I've seen some stuff like that, and because I was navigating some liberal content, and they were showing where there was some tweets or something like that people were going after his Indian wife, and it was Republicans doing that. So I thought that was interesting. Do you feel like because I kind of asked you this question, we kind of tiptoed around, not tiptoed, but we didn't really get to the meat of it. But do you really think that? Do you think the Trumpers are scared a little bit because Harris is in the seat? Like, do you think that was kind of like a oh shit for Trumpers?
I mean, personally, with the conversations that I've had with people in my local area or in my circle, no.
Okay.
I'm not saying that I'm against Kamala as well. I'm just saying that I want to make sure that America is actually put forward, definitely when it comes to manufacturing. Manufacturing is one of the biggest key players in the middle class industry. If the middle class wants to be able to survive and push forward, if we don't have manufacturing, then honestly, we're going to have a hard time pushing forward, because middle class is the one that pays for everything. And if we're having a hard time struggling and everyone continues to do what they're doing now and, try to put that savings up, it's not going to be a good future, because like I have kids myself, and that's what I'm afraid this country is eventually going to get to, is that it's not that people aren't making decent money, is that they're going to start turning it into almost a company and start looking at it as it's feast or famine. And right now we need to play defense.
Okay. And so you think playing defense is getting Trump in office?
As long as he puts in the proper policies that he's screaming now, I think that is the best way forward, but I don't think that is the best way continuously. You know what I mean? Like 4 years is about all we need just to be able to bring back the manufacturing into the country. But as long as he plays it as how he's promising it now. Now, if he's saying that he wants to be a double party leader, absolutely, I'm for it. But one of the biggest things that I was against back in the day is that he did play a part in the big divisional problems. He was a one party leader.
Okay. So just so I understand what you're saying that he played a part in dividing the country. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yes, he did.
Okay, let's lead into that. Let's lead into that conversation. First of all, chat, do you guys agree with that? Do you guys agree with that statement that Trump played a part in dividing this country? And if so, that guy Volk, like, that's pretty concerning. Tell me more about your thoughts about that. So if he played a part in dividing this country, why would anybody want to vote for Trump then?
Because the issue that I have, so it's kind of like looking at it as like a double glancing sword. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like one side might be for the good, but the other side is causing the issue. So you might be bringing some good things to the table, but if you're not keeping your damn mouth shut and actually being the people's person, then that's where the issue lies. Because yes, you might be doing something good over here, but at the end of the day, you're causing issues on this side. So if you're going to be the people's president, then you need to be the people's president and watch what you say. I don't agree with a lot of the things that he said, but at the end of the day, I did agree with what he was trying to do for the middle class people. I didn't agree with, he should have shut the fuck up. That's what hurt his last presidency. That's why he didn't win the last fucking round. Is because he was a one-person party.
I want to talk about that. So I want to talk about that because thank you for the segue. That's a wonderful segue, my friend. because here's where my concern comes with Trumpers, right? And listen, I'm here for the spectacle of it all. I don't have a bias on anything. I was going to vote for RFK. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. I've never voted third party. I was going to vote for third party because I was like, I'm going to vote for the underdog because that's just kind of who I am in that regard. I might vote for Harris. I don't know. We'll see. I like to vote for the outliers. I voted for Trump. I voted for Obama. I might vote for Harris just to say whatever. But here's my thing. My thing is that Trumpers believed in their heart of hearts that Trump was going to win, that there was going to be this red wave. They were sure. They were sure that Trump was going to win this last election, and Trump lost. Do you feel that that's kind of the same energy that we're going into now? Like, do you feel that there's any correlation there? Like that we could be just repeating that again? Like, do you feel like that at all?
I mean, personally, I don't, because even when he lost last time, I mean, like at the time I lived in Pennsylvania. You know, like I've lived in Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and now Nevada. But when I was in Pennsylvania, the wave that went across, you know, Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania is a heavy coal, heavy energy, heavy union, there was a lot of Biden flags. Let's just say I've seen a lot more Biden flags than what I did Trump. But in this go around, I do think that people do believe that financially wise that they were better. But I'm hoping and praying that Trump still brings on the same policies. Because let's be honest, a lot of the manufacturing and industry started to disappear during the Bush era or during the Clinton era, and then completely demolished during the Bush era. It was fucking gone. Obama didn't cause it. It was already in the erosion effect before Obama took office. It was on its way out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I remember in the small town that I grew up in, we had 5 or 6 factories. And by the time that I was 13, 14 years old, they were gone. They already up and moved to, Mexico or Taiwan, or they completely moved out of the country.
Yeah. No, I understand, man. I think that this Kamala Harris thing, because here's the other thing too, is that a lot of people on both sides are talking about the age of these presidents. On both sides are talking about this, right? They're talking about the competency. The competency of the mental capacity of both of these presidents. They're talking about the age of both of these presidents. They're talking about term limits and all this kind of stuff. Now we have Kamala. Does anybody know how old Kamala is? Put that in the comments. I don't know how old she is, but she certainly isn't 80. You know what I'm saying? So no, that alone,
she's probably. If I would have to guess, because I'm not 100% sure, but I'd say that she's probably lived
59. I think 50. Okay, 59. So 59. So we're getting 59, right? 59. That is closer to. I'm 42. 59 is closer. 59 is closer to me than Trump is closer to me, and I think that's going to speak to a lot of Americans. And here's where I think that it's really going to get interesting is that there's a lot of independents out there, because I'm registered as an independent, right? That's who I am. Me and my husband, we don't have a political affiliation. We just kind of vote based on policies and whatnot like that. There's a lot of independents out there. And I think that that's what this race is all about. This race is all about the independents and who they are going to vote for. And that element alone of just the age piece, there's a lot of independents out there who are in their 40s, you know what I'm saying? In their 50s. And they're going to relate more to the person that is closest to them. That's where I think that Trumpers aren't really kind of clocking in, right? We're not clocking in on that piece. So what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that?
So a lot of people try to vote towards like what they feel is, and then you got the independents like us, the ones that are kind of like stuck in the middle. I believe in universal health care, but at the same time, I was a part of the ones that actually got hurt during the whole transition into Obamacare.
Yeah.
So at the time,
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so at the time I had 100% paid insurance. Everything was paid for me and my family. But as soon as Obamacare came out, they were actually overtaxing the companies that were giving that benefit to their employees, which in turn caused the employees, instead of paying the Cadillac tax, they broke out to, hey, you need to start paying your fair share because now we're under this new ruling, blah, blah, blah. Like, I did see the effect that did cause. So I'm not saying that I'm against what happened, but I do see, because now, like, my mom was a factory worker her entire life. Now she's in her 50s, or she's in her 60s. She just had a bout with cancer, and if it wasn't for some of the acts that were put into play with Obama, then she would have never got treatment. So that's what a lot of blue collar people don't understand, is that your ability to work should not dictate your ability to get health care.
So what I just heard you say, and correct me if I'm wrong, you said that so basically Obama helped your mom out.
Yes. So I wasn't
Okay,
mad.
and thank you for saying that. First of all, let's just pause. Let's pause again. Let's pause again and just thank you being somebody who's voted for Trump and about that you're able to recognize how the other party may have helped you. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. For me, that's a big deal. And that's what it matters to me because Obama wasn't the best president, but Obama put some things in place that kind of helped some people. And I just want to say I'm proud of you for recognizing that and being able to own that. Like just great job. Kudos to you on that. I think that's great. I think that's great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the solution. I think that's where we need to come together is realize that, you know what, they're not the best candidates up there, but if they did something good for the country, let's just recognize that was good for the country and not completely negate it because they are of a different party. Does that make sense? Like, I think we do that way too much in this country. What are your thoughts?
Way too much divisional conversations. I mean, there's good that comes out of both parties, but one of the biggest issues that I do see right now is that I'm struggling. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's 100% from Biden. I know that we're still trying to do the swing back from COVID. There was a lot of holdback on ports, and the chain was completely broken. But at the end of the day, I want to see America thrive again. And one of the biggest things that I'm seeing is that there's so much manufacturing in other countries that we're bringing over to into our own country versus actually manufacturing and bringing it here. And it's disturbing. I mean, I'm not saying because a lot of people want to have a conversation, and I know I ended up debating somebody saying that America First policies is a white supremacist fucking whatever. But the first person that actually brought it up was I know that I'm wrong. It's been a while since I looked up the policy, but it came from I think I might be wrong, but Woodrow Wilson, and then it was adhered or it was attracted by the white supremacists, and then it was used. So it's the same thing when it comes to the swastika. When the swastika was first brought out, it was actually in reverse form, and it symbolized peace.
Yeah, that's true. I've heard of that. Yes, I've heard of that.
So Nazi took that symbol, reversed it, and completely. It happens throughout nation, or it happens throughout history that a lot of things that were meant to be supposed to be good are actually adopted by others that turn it into shit.
Facts, absolute facts.
So if I do offend anybody saying that I do believe in American First policies, it's not. I don't
believe in American First policies. Listen. I think that we should bring back nationalism. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I think that we should bring back nationalism, and I honestly want to be a nationalist because the thing about it is that we have to put America first because we're Americans. We are Americans, and like, what is so wrong with having pride in your country? I don't see anything. I don't see. Now pause in the chat now. I don't see what's wrong with having pride in being an American. I really honestly don't. I'm not black. You're not white. I'm an American. And I believe that we have to put America first because we are Americans living in America. If we put other people first, then what are we doing here? Then what are we doing? That's what I believe. That's who I am. You know what I mean? And I think that once we realize we got to take these words back. You know what I mean? Take back the word nationalism. Like, why does it have to mean white people? It doesn't mean white people. It means Americans. And I think that if enough of us get out there and we start to just take this word back and own it again, I think we can change the perspective on it. You have to be America first, and that doesn't mean white power. It means we the United States, we the people. That's what that means. And so I think we got it wrong in that. And I think that that's honestly, I think that's part of the design of this whole division thing, right? Take these words that actually mean something that unite us and make them about division. And we've just bought into this reality, and it's not true. It's not true. So those are my thoughts on that. Very, very good segue to that. I'm going to ask you one final question, that guy, and I'm going to hop out because I want to post this conversation. I wanted to talk to a Trumper, and I really, really loved what you had to say. Did you watch the RNC?
No, I did. Yeah, I did.
You did? Okay. I didn't really watch it that much. I watched the last part of it. I'm gonna rewatch it, so I'm not gonna get too deep into it now. But there was this part. There was the speech that Trump gave at the end, and then he played like this music or something like that. Have you heard any of the conspiracy around this? Like the controversy around the music that he played at the end of the RNC? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Put that in the comments. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Just say I know what you're talking about. Put that in the comments, right? So apparently what Trump did was. So apparently, this is just a post that I saw. So Chris, you know what I'm talking about, right? So I heard that Trump takes care of all the music at all of his rallies. Also, okay, it was good. Okay, the movie very good. So you guys understand, right? So Trump takes care of all of his music at the rallies, at his speeches, everything. At the end, guys, tell me what song did he play? What song? What was the song that he played at the end? At the end of his speech, he played an opera song, and that opera song was from a movie. And guys, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Don't because I'm remembering this. It was from a movie where it was about a president there was an attempted assassination on a president, and that it was Some of All Fears, right? Okay, so Some of All Fears, and I guess that movie is about a president who had an attempted assassination, and I guess basically what it means is that Trump knows who did it and is going to come for him or something like that. So there's some conspiracy there. There's some drama there. You know what I mean? So definitely look into that guy. And that's all I gotta say, man. I really appreciate the conversation. I'm gonna hop off. I want to keep it short so I can make this into some content. I'll tag you in it. What are your thoughts? What are your last thoughts? Final thoughts on the conversation. Do you think that Trump has anything to be scared of in regards to Kamala Harris?
I mean, every candidate has something to be afraid of because there's a lot of division right now. And then we don't know how it's going to go at the end of the day. You have to stay at your best and speak the best. If not, you're going to end up losing a race. But if I can leave this conversation in one thing,
Go ahead.
I actually put it in the comments before I came up. Is that a lot of the issues nowadays is that people aren't meeting at the fence. The problem is that the best thing about meeting at the fence is that somewhere there's going to be a gate. The only way that we can come together is be at the fence. Have these conversations, go up and down it like chasing dogs. Eventually, we'll find a gate and come together.
I'll meet you at the gate, friend. I'll meet you at the gate, friend. That was beautiful. Get the hell out of my life. You're amazing, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, friend.